Alright guys, we're going to take the car for a spin. Not this one, but the SHO. Because today we installed the Gearhead tune, and there's nobody on YouTube who has made a Gearhead tune review for the Taurus SHO. So I just put it in. Haven't driven it yet. I guess I've driven it like 8 feet to pull it out of the way so I could wash off the driveway where I spilled a little bit of coolant, replacing the thermostat, because I didn't feel like lifting the car up to catch 2 cups of coolant. But I'm not gonna kill my dogs, so I had to spray it all down. But we're gonna go take the car out for a ride, and you guys will get my honest reaction to the Gearhead tune. It'll be fun. Just before I start, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that my remote start still works. Let's put it in gear and let's fucking get going. First drive on the new Gearhead tune. I think I'm gonna be the first one on YouTube to give you guys a review on this. So far from what I can tell, there is actually one difference already. The gear indicator looks like it's always on, which I love, because before you had to like manually shift to get the gear indicator on. And excuse me if there's like a few rattles and stuff like that in the car. I got knives and work equipment, firearms, all kinds of shit inside of here. I think right now my handcuffs are rattling. I'm not a cop, but if you got a gun, you might as well have fucking cuffs. You don't see them fucking gun down a guy and just leave him there. They cuff him. This is a dead motherfucker. You think a motherfucker's dead, he ain't dead. Wow, abnormally clear road right now. That's good. About to spook somebody on a Hyundai Genesis. We're hot enough? Yep, we are. First pull. Alright. Oh yeah. Big difference. God damn, big difference. So before, first thing I just noticed on that pole, not only was it impressively strong, and clearly it downshifted much harder than it used to before. I'm gonna try to keep it slightly lower here, just because I have a little bit of exhaust drone that's pretty annoying. Before, I would definitely say like the front end would maybe come up like an inch when you went into hard acceleration at like that was about a 30 roll, just a 30 to 40, and this time it's noticeable now that the performance package suspension is not enough. Like, it's already very apparent that was like 2.5, almost 3 inches. Probably gonna need some coilovers. I know a lot of guys go with the lowering springs, but I think if you end up with, like if you do the lowering springs on this car, you're gonna end up like right down the road getting coilovers, or you're gonna be replacing struts, because your struts are not designed to be on lowering springs from the factory. So if you're gonna spend $600, why not spend $1,000 and get some like BC coils? We are stuck in a little bit of traffic here, but I'm liking this. I like that my gear indicator is active all the time. I like that even in drive, because before, like, you had to shift down into sport, and then you had to manually shift it down, and then you would have your gear indicator until you clicked it back into drive. But now it just stays. I love that. I did give it a little rev before I left the driveway, and it made a very familiar noise when it hit the rev limiter, and it sounded like two-step to me. So I could be wrong. Maybe I need to contact somebody at Gearhead and ask if that is considered two-step to them. Maybe they sell a different tune that has two-step on it, and I got that on accident, but I didn't know it was going to have two-step. I don't think it said that anywhere. We've got room to do a pull here in a second. I'm just going to cross this light. Mama, yeah. She's quick. Fucking quick. There's no denying it anymore. The Taurus SHO is already a fast car. Like, well, not fast car, okay? I will say that the Taurus SHO is what most people would consider an above average performance car, right? Me, myself, like, I used to drag race motorcycles. I've built a NOS and turbo fucking ZX12R. I've built a turbo Hayabusa. I've built, like, you know, all kinds of crazy NOS and turbo and supercharged bikes. And, like, I know what real fast is. You know, I know what a 7-second bike is. So, to me, you know, a fast car is still a little slower than I, you know, would like to go. But a fast car is still really a nice thing. And this thing is like, yeah, if you show this to a normal person, it's gonna fuck their head up. You show it to me and I'm okay, but that's because I've been around this kind of thing for a long time. Can we get a pull off? I think we can. Fuck yeah, now I'm excited. Let's run it from a dig. This will be the first one from a dig. I'm almost questioning how much, turn traction control off too. Get it from a dig. Don't forget, guys, we're all-wheel drive. I'm not really putting a lot of people's lives in danger here. I am being responsible and making sure that I'm in clear areas. And as always, I'm in Mexico anyway. What the fuck does it matter to you? But yeah, no, this Gearhead tune, I think it's the business. Liver Noise, I'm not saying that they, you know, aren't making a equal and or possibly superior product, but I've looked at the dyno sheet and it seems a lot to me like there is no power increase for running a aftermarket cold air intake, which Liver Noise sells along with their package. If it were me, you know, and it is me, obviously, I would skip that, because $1,245, I think, for the Liver Noise tune was the price, and then this one, I think I paid less than $700 out the door, shipped to me and everything. From dig. Oh yeah, mama, that's fast. That's a fucking butcher of a car, man. That was just 240 right there. Out of a dig, I don't think that you're gonna have a problem beating any V8 muscle car. It's just all-wheel drive is far superior from a launch. You know, there's nothing on earth that launches like a fucking 600 horsepower all-wheel drive car. I've had Audis for years and years and years, and this is like probably my 10th tuned car or something like that. I tune almost everything I get. I think I've had 2 cars that weren't tuned, and like maybe a few motorcycles that I used as like daily commuters and stuff like that over the years. But I think this might actually be like the best all-around car and tune so far. I think that the tune is very like it's very strong. I like where the power's at, but it's still considered like conservative for this motor, right? Because we're sitting somewhere like around 370 wheel horsepower, and then we got to be around like 430 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. So for the motor, to remind you, it's an F-150 twin turbo EcoBoost motor. Like, you know, that's a big motor for a passenger car. It is more than capable of moving a truck pretty goddamn fast. So you put it in this thing, it's a beast. I'm sure it's not as impressive on the highway at the top ends, you know, because displacement kind of does push you along further when it gets up to the top end, and it's nothing but just, you know, sitting there out of what would be like your critical boost zone. But around town, daily driving, if you don't plan on going over, you know, 110, which I pretty much don't, like, I'm probably going to take it to the drag strip a handful of times. I've heard and seen Taurus SHOs that run mid-12s just on a tune. And, you know, for me, all right, cool, we're going to hit 110, 120 a couple times a year. Like, you know, whenever the drag strip's open, whenever I'm off and not working, which I work, you know, forever in a day, so it's tough to come by. But yeah, no, all around, this car's killer, man. I mean, I put a 12-inch subwoofer in it and a tune on it, and I'm still working on the exhaust. I got the new resonators in today. Right now, I just have like temporary piping and stuff in there. There are some like nice exhaust tips MZS. They're cheap, but they look nice. And I just, you know, kind of put them into place temporarily. But probably going to TIG weld in some resonators and get rid of this nasty drone. And do I think it was worth every penny of like the slightly less than $700 I paid for it? Absolutely. I think it was the largest power gain I've gotten out of any tune, and I've paid, I want to say, anywhere from like a JB4 used to be $400 back when I had my diesel Beamer, my 335D. I think that was my cheapest tune, and that was like a 60 horsepower, 100 foot-pounds of torque gain. This is a like $700 tune essentially. And this is 100 horsepower and like 120 foot-pounds of torque gain. There's a school bus up there. Otherwise, I would hit another pole right now because it is fucking fun. And you could just feel it kicking in. It shifts harder too. And it's not like an uncomfortable hard shift. It's like a very satisfying, like you can feel that the transmission likes the way that it's moving now. Whereas before it was, fucking slop box. Let's see. Ooh. All right. It's much more noticeable now that the transmission is just better tuned, because I did just a little bit of paddle shifting, and that is, yeah, that's better. Before it was just slop, man. There was too much room in between the shifts. Now this thing's a fucking monster. Good thing it's all-wheel drive. Otherwise, we'd be burning a lot of rubber. Man. Tires are expensive nowadays. Back when I had a Cobra, I used to remember paying like $700 for a new set of rear tires like every other month because I drove it like a dick everywhere I went. Mind you, I'm not putting anybody in danger. I'm driving like a dick, but there's nobody around, so I don't feel that bad about it.